Good day. I am at the allotment, as you can see. Seed sowing. That's what I'm doing today. It's quite early in the morning, yet it's still really bright. I was going to film over by the other shed, not this shed behind, these sheds behind, but our other green shed. But it's so bright there already. And even though I'm in the shade here, you can see the sun's coming down from over there. It's still quite bright. I mean, it's a glorious day. Oh, I can see the moon. I can see. I'm fascinated always by that first glimpse of a moon during daytime, and it's up there. I hadn't noticed it. Anyway, there it is. It's often there. We just can't see it, of course. Anyway, what am I sowing? I am sowing Greyhound Cabbage, which is a fast maturing pointy cabbage. Going to be sowing 6 modules of that. I am also doing Nero di Toscana. We sowed Cavallo Nero, Kale, a good few months ago, put it out, and as you know, it hasn't done well for us. We're part of this trial where we're putting out brassicas as very young plants to see whether they will adapt and be stronger, and in our case most of what we've put in hasn't worked. We love Cavallo Nero, so I am sowing this Nero di Toscana. Very, very similar. I'm not quite sure what the difference is between them, whether it's just a regional difference in name. I'll have to look that up. Finally, I'm sowing purple sprouting broccoli, which is something I have never grown successfully before. It's one of those vegetables that takes an awful long time to grow from sowing to harvest. So even though I'm sowing this now in mid-May, we most probably will not be harvesting it for about 11 months, maybe mid-March going into April, fingers crossed. There's actually 2 varieties in this packet because it's called a continuity mix. So one matures earlier than the other. And the one of the varieties, Red Arrow and Rudolph. I don't know which is which comes first, does it say? No. It says it's got a 6-month harvest period. I find that very... Oh, hang on, it's saying... Right, so one of these varieties it's saying can be harvested from October, and the other one sort of like next year. Interesting. I'm going to have to look that up because I really didn't know that. So one of them is obviously a faster maturing variety than others. So yeah, there we are. We shall see. I'm going to be sowing about 6 modules of the Greyhound Cabbage, at least double that of the Nero di Toscana, and a full set of, what are they, the 15 modules, something like that, of the purple sprouting broccoli. It's never been a success for me, so it's not something that I've gone towards growing again. So I can't even remember its name. I'm going to be sowing them in modules, so let's go back over there onto the table where I put some modules. Seed sowing, you know what it is, but let's just go over there and I'll chat while I do what I'm doing. Right, I've got my modules filled with soil. So there's 5 modules by 3 and there's 2 sets. You can see it's split in the middle. Right, first one is purple sprouting broccoli. Actually, someone always said to me, open seeds from the bottom, because then you keep all the information at the top. We often sort of cut down to there and then you miss that information, but if you open them at the bottom, then you keep that information. Right, now this is interesting. There's 2 varieties in here, as I've mentioned, but only 1 seed packet. So clearly it is a continuity mix rather than separate seeds. Let's just open that. what I'm going to be doing, let me see if I can see there's a difference. Not particularly. I think some are a bit browner than others, but not particularly. What I'm going to do is just, that's a shame, because if you've got a continuity mix, you'd sort of think you'd want to be able to know what you're sowing. I'm just putting two seeds per module in, or roughly 2 seeds. If a few more drop in, or one more drops in, I'm not going to be too worried about it. But yeah, I had expected, because there's 2 varieties in here, that there would be 2 seed packets. But hey, I can't complain. I got them free, so yeah, I'm not going to worry about that. Put those back in. So that's 15 modules there of purple sprouting broccoli. Let me just put these to one side for a minute. Then I've got Greyhound, which is cabbage. So I'm going to open it from the bottom this time. That's true, because if you open it at the top, you do lose information. Right, I only want to do 6 modules of these. I've grown these in the past, and I found that they've germinated really well. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm doing 6. So again, a couple of seeds per module. The rest go back in there. Oh, excuse me. And then the Nero di Toscana. Lots of seeds in there. 175 it says. You certainly don't need that many. But they'll keep for next year. That's the good thing. Don't keep them in your shed or where it's going to get hot. Keep them where things are a bit cool. The coolest place in your house is best. Right, so I've sown 6 modules of the Greyhound cabbage. I'm now going to do 9 modules, because that's what I've got left here, of the Nero di Toscana. The reason that I'm sowing a couple of seeds per module is because I want to keep the strongest one. If I find that both germinate really well, and I've got the space when I need to actually put them out, I might decide that I'm going to keep both seedlings and then separate them and put them into separate pots. Right. Okay. Just pressing them in. You want to make sure that the seed is really in contact with the soil, or with your compost in this case. And then I'm going to top each individual cell up. Pressing that down again so that it's in contact with the top of the seed as well as the bottom. Taking what I don't need off, using it over here. again, pushing down. Some of that can go down there, taking off any surplus, just giving a final tap down. Right, label. Right, Nero di Toscana, going in there. Greyhound Cabbage going in there, and then I know that all of those are purple sprouting broccoli. Now, when I label, when I do modules like this, I label them in a way that why are these two next to each other? I know that everything in front of this side is the Greyhound Cabbage, and everything in front of that side is the Nero di Toscana. So that's why I label things that way. This one, obviously, it's all purple sprouting broccoli. What I'm going to do now is give those a really good water and then just leave them out. I'm not going to put them in the polytunnel. I'm just going to leave them out on our bench here. We've got another bench in the polytunnel, which I'm going to be bringing out soon, hopefully in the next couple of days. So we should have enough room outside for all of our seedlings before they go into the ground. Water. So there we are. That's our purple sprouting broccoli sown, our Greyhound Cabbage and our Nero di Toscana. So we'll see how they do. Let's hope they do a bit better than the ones that we planted out much earlier, the brassicas that we planted out much earlier than normal. I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. Okay, see you again soon. Bye.